What's around, everyone? Welcome. This is going to be a tarot card reading for the new moon in Leo. And funny, the new moon in Leo is conjuncting the sun in Leo. And they're doing it at 5 degrees. And 5 degrees, or just the number 5, let's just do that because it can go deeper. But 5 is the 5th house, and the 5th house is ruled by Leo, the sun, Leo, the lion, right? So 5th house is about you shining, your solar plexus shining, right? Shining bright. So we're going to be using the Gold Liar Tarot card. And the reason why I'm choosing these cards is because I'm a very mercurial person. So Mercury is hanging out, okay, in Leo, right ahead of them, okay? So Mercury got a good view and a good perspective. So these cards, the Gold Liar cards, are going to these cards are going to sing to us. It's going to sing a message, okay? And whatever that message is, apply it to wherever you need to apply it to when it comes to your life, okay? 'Cause only you know where you need to apply the energy and the message that comes out, because everyone has their own situations, you know what I mean, and circumstances. So in that case, you know, it calls for not a reading that just speaks to, you know, that sign and that sign only, but also you want to, since the moon and the sun is in 5 degrees, you might want to peep in on your moon sign as well, okay? Because the moon is the reflection of the sun. So you kind of can get a hint what's going on with your moon sign by looking at your moon sign in this reading. I'm also going to do a new moon in Leo separate from this reading here, okay, which is about just Leo season, the solar plexus of it all, the core of it all. So I hope you're shining bright out there, you know. What's making you shine bright, you know? What's attracting people to you? What kind of energy you got going on during this Leo season? Shout out to the Leos, Sun, Moon, Ascendants out there. How y'all doing? I ain't forget to say hey to y'all, you know. And during this Leo moon, it so happened that a orangey cat, orange and white cat, decided that it wanted to make my house, okay, a place of comfortability, you know, where it can settle on in and shine right on here. So somehow I was just driving down the street, we locked eyes, I said, oh, you're cute, and I kept it moving, right, like I normally do. Shout out to the Mercuries and air signs, air, and I don't pull the hand of my business in and out, whatever, the car, you know, and next thing you know, the cat, we go outside 10 minutes after I pull up, and the cat is outside just chilling, like at the door, meowing like, hey, we locked eyes. I was like, okay. So I have been going and getting things for cats. So I've been reading things and reading the back of toys and all that stuff, and this household deals, you know, with dogs due to my older child who is on her third dog at this point, actually fourth dog at this point. So we're used to having dogs. And we did have a Taurus, okay, who has been wanting a cat. Also a Pisces in the household has been asking for a cat. So, of course, there is an attraction to the cat, and this cat is shining really bright in this house. And I'm sure to the cat, we are shining bright to it. Okay? Because that cat want to learn some human behavior, I figure. That cat is ready to be like, you know, expand. Let's talk about that. Leo's also about, you know, growth. You know, nurturing. So, nurturing and focusing and making sure that everything is stabilized, that it is responsible for, making sure everything has what it needs so that it can do what it needs to do individually in the world to make the world go round smoothly, right? So that's kind of a little message in this card reading. So let's get started. I am going to start with Leos. Happy flight day, Leos. Happy solar return. Happy born day, birthday, all that jazz. Okay, but this is for Leos, okay? We're going to start with Leos first because this is their season, all right? And they got the new moon in 5 degrees along with it, so we got to let them go first, right? You know how I do on this channel, right? It is what it is, right? Take it or leave it. So let's get started. What's around Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendants? This is your Leo season advice card for you, okay? So I'm using a Golden Lyre tarot card. As I mentioned in the intro, it is all because I'm tapping in to the message. So this Four of Cups is singing to you. And excuse me, sometimes, you know, with this cup, you gotta rise above your emotions, okay? You see, she's like metaphorically rising above the cup if we look at the one below, you know, but there's 3 other cups that she's going to have to learn how to rise above, and this can go for male or female, right? So sometimes it's necessary to reach like a higher perspective in terms of dealing with your emotions, okay? So kind of step out of the emotions, kind of act like as if you were someone who you did not know knowing you or observing you or watching you on the television. You know what I mean? They will tell you from a different perspective, maybe from a higher perspective if you want to look at it, even though we're looking at the TV, but they see something that you're not seeing. They know something that you don't know, even though they don't know you or your situation. I mean, because you know with TV there's clips and edits and all kinds of stuff and mess going on, but based on what you have presented emotionally, they don't know you. They're not really attached to the situation. They can go to bed and sleep and comfortable at night. So therefore they have raw points or pointers, raw advice, you know, no filter to it, you know, no chaser to it. It's just straight up, this is the issue, you need to move on, blah, 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 blah. So kind of, you know, be that person looking at you if you need it to be real with yourself, okay? And this means that you have to allow some sense of detachment. Not everything needs to be held on to, because then you're going to become, you know, a bag lady. And then the bag might be, you know, full of feathers at first, and then they turn into stones at first, and then they turn into like bricks at first, bricks, and then they turn into cement, and you know, so on and so forth. It just keeps getting heavier and heavier because you're not willing to release anything. You're not willing to detach. So you're only capable of becoming the observer when we give ourselves the space to release. Okay, so an observer is just another way of looking at the higher perspective, the higher angle, or the lower angles of it. There's all different kinds of angles. If you take a pizza pie and you slice it, it's not just up, down, left, right. I mean, if it's 4 people and you're like, oh, that's great, you know what I mean? We could just fold this buddy in half and we can, eat it up. Technically, if you really was to cut it more, that one slice can probably slice into probably like 4 more. You know what I mean? So there's angles to it. There's a circumference to it, okay? But so you want to look at all the perspectives of it. When you don't want to repeat the same patterns, people have like a sense to pause. But this is that time when you pause that you make the decisions, and you make wise decisions with that pause, okay? So you mindfully choose whether to accept an opportunity or not, and not all opportunities are good opportunities. However, I'm talking to a Leo, so Sun, Moon, Ascendant. So y'all just like whatever, whatever attention I get, whatever shine I get, whether good or bad. People looking this way, right? People looking this way. That's like free energy. That's how Leos be looking at it. That's free energy. Just kind of how like we look at the sun as free energy. That's how Leos look at attention. Hey, that's free energy, But now, but when it comes to the opportunities to get that shine or to get that attention, that when you make that pause, make it for the best outcome for yourself. And you see, I didn't say no one else. For yourself. Okay, so if you can see down the road next year this time that the choice that you made by pausing to make a wise decision or a wise choice, you know what I mean? Is that going to be harmful to you next year, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 15 years? Or is it going to be helpful? Is it going to be a benefit to you? Or it might be an opportunity where you're just in and out. So you're like, this is a temporary, I'm in for a month and I'm out in a month type thing. You might be in that in and out phase. And that's cool. So go with what you know that you can go with, and make sure you make those pause moments. So the pause moments will help you use your mental more than your emotions, okay? So kind of get out your feelings. And we already in a feeling energy, with the new moon being a Leo, the sun being a Leo, a lot of stuff happening next door in Cancer. You know what I mean? So with Venus is in Cancer, just to name one. So it's, the emotions is there, okay? The emotions is running high. So Leos, you already got that energy just by being a Leo in Leo season. So you're gonna have to hold back. That's just like when somebody says, okay, I don't want to use that because I don't want to put like a fan on me or something like that, because you're doing a photo shoot. Put a fan on me so my hair can move a little bit, or it looks like we're riding in a car, or if you're doing a commercial or whatever. So put the fan, and somebody, a new person who don't know how to work the fan turns on the fan, and the fan is actually on extremely high, and therefore all that wind just blew that way, or just basically, from I live in upstate New York, living in upstate New York weather versus living in the desert weather, okay? After a while, stuff is gonna burn out, and desert weather can't come to upstate weather because we're gonna see things wither away. We had that 2-week, I call it Florida weather, and I'm sure that everybody was dealing with that heat, right? That humidity and everything like that. And it was driving people crazy. It was also drying up a lot of the leaves, and I'm looking, leaves are getting brown, and rose bushes are drying up, and all kind of stuff was going on because it was just hot, and then some days it was just humid, and it was just like, ugh, everything was just like whatever, and it was just like hot and dry, and no rain for a couple of days. So we was getting all types of summer weather from all states, you know what I mean, all in like 2-3 weeks. But we can see when it's too much of something, it's too much, and you got too much emotion going on already. So not hold back, release it. You don't want to hold it, you want to release it, and use your thought process to release it. Even if it's like checking yourself, like, girl, dude, you know what I mean? Why are we feeling like this? Why is this like this? I shouldn't even be thinking like this. This person don't. Yeah, and then get out to go, move on. You know what I mean? Go on about your day. You only got 12. Are we in 12-hour time set? No, we're a little bit more. If you really want to just talk about the dawn, so we're talking about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? 12 to 14. Okay, so we're talking about a good 13, 14 hours, you know, where you can actually see your hand in front of your face. I'm just not talking about high noon or when it's like really bright and everybody can see the day. I'm talking about the whole complete. I can go outside, see my hand. I can walk to the car without a flashlight. I can go down the street without a flash. Though that type of thing. We got longer, you know, days now, so that's filled with more emotion. That's why a lot of drama happens in the summertime, because the days are longer. People are out more. People are forgetting about, you know, their spirituality and just, you know, themselves, and just really just being amongst people, places, and things that maybe they're overdoing it because, you know, it's that season. So I know I've been talking a while, but definitely, you know, be mindful whether to accept any opportunities. Even if you don't see them as good or bad at the moment, you're going to take that pause moment. You're going to use your mental break. Even if you have to tell somebody, let me think about it, or let me get back to you tomorrow, or let me get back to you next week, and let me get back to you, you know, give me about a month or two. Do that. You know, be real with your timeline, you know, because this is a instant gratification world right now. So everybody wants a response ASAP. Everybody expects you to make that decision ASAP. Like, every response is supposed to be like, if you don't make a response within 1.5 seconds, it's a problem. Then people start to get up in their emotions and their feelings, like, why did they listen, you can't, you know, put that on pause. And mindfully think about your time, and do you really need to respond to these people, especially if you're looking not just what's going on now, but long term for your life. You know what I mean? And even if you're watching this and you're like elderly, and you're like, if you still living and you still breathing, you still got time. That's it. So don't just because society says, oh, at this time you're supposed to be just sitting there and catching up on old reruns and catching up with your old friends and maybe playing golf, or, you know, sitting up at the pub, you know, or you know, playing darts or something, or chess every once in a while. But most of the time is, you know, going and getting a newspaper and a coffee and just sitting by yourself. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So that's time. It's still time. So I don't know who told you retirement. The whole thing retirement is all screwed up. We need to just change that whole terminology of retirement, because to me that just sounds like you about to die and re-come back. You know what I mean? Like, okay. But that's a whole other story. All right then. So I will catch y'all later. Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendants during your season. Have a good day and night, and enjoy, and be mindful.